Okay, so we all know Dynamics 365 forms really don't look the best. So in this video, I'm going to show you how you can build in custom components, or specifically a custom page, so you get pixel perfect development and you can bring that into your model-driven app / Dynamics 365 forms. This will take you from using the standard features of Dynamics 365, which are really boring and your users can probably get sick of, to a full custom experience so it looks like a bespoke application that you've built for your users. As we all know as well, Dynamics 365 and model-driven apps only support Dataverse natively. So if you need to pull in any other data sources like SharePoint or SQL for whatever reason, and you need to do it in an experience which is pixel perfect development, then custom pages is the way to go. So without further ado, let's dive in. So the first thing we need to do is actually create the custom page that we're going to be opening. So what we're going to do is come into New, App, and Page. And now we've got this experience open. We want to make sure everything is in a container to ensure responsiveness. So what we're going to do is select Insert, Layout, and then we're going to go vertical container in this case. Just going to move it to the middle, add a label. And then within the label, we're just going to take this custom contract paragraph that I've created here. And you can see that that's been created. So we just need to stretch this across the container by adding flexible height. And then you can see that that's been done for us. We also want it to stretch across the container. So we're going to select stretch here. And you can see that that is completed. Once we finished our custom page, we want to save and publish. Give it a name, so we're just going to call this contractor information. And then we're going to select save. Once we've saved this, we want to go back, select leave. And now we need to ensure we take the logical name of this page. So we're just going to take a screenshot by using the Windows key, Shift and S. We're going to select this button here at the top, click here, right click and then select copy text, and then that will take that for us. Next, the JavaScript. So we use the XRM navigation navigate to function to actually trigger this. And you can see the page type is custom to align with our custom page. You can see the name area is where we need to replace with our custom page logical name. So I'm just going to take this out and then paste that in. And if you want access to the snippet, it will be in the description of this video. What Target 2 does is it opens it up as a dialog, so in the middle of the page, rather than as a full screen, so the users can maintain their flow. But now we're finished with this, we're just going to select save, come back into our solution, because now we need to take that JavaScript snippet and add it into our environment. The way that we do this is come into New, More, Web Resource, and then we're going to choose the file that we just saw. You can see pageinput.js is now here, and you can see we get a preview of the code over here. The file type must be JavaScript, the name is good, and then we're just going to select save. So now it's added to the solution, we need to actually create the button that will trigger this custom page. So the way that we do this is we open our model-driven app by going into Apps, the ellipsis, and then Edit. Then we need to make sure that we're doing this in the contract form. So we're going to go to the contract view, since that's where the form lives. Select the ellipsis and then edit command bar. Then once this is showed up, we want to select main form and then select edit. And then now we have our experience to create our custom commands. Now we're going to come into new command. We're going to ensure that the library is accessible through the command designer. And the way that we do this is come into add library. And then we're going to search for the name, which is page input. Add this in. And you can see the library is being called here. We need to configure this first by the function that encapsulates all of the code, which is open contractor info. So we're just going to Control C and Control V. And we're going to add the parameter primary control as the first one, and that's it. We need to give this command a name. So we're just going to call this contract information. And then we're going to add an icon that matches. So this one will do. And then we're going to save and publish. Now, once that's published, we're going to come into play and see if this is working. So I'm going to come into contracts, just going to close this agent feed, open up one of these records. And then if I click on this, you can see nothing's happening. But if I press F12 and open up my DevTools, come into the console and select contract information, you can see it is running the code. So something's not right here, but it's not an issue with the code. The issue with this is even though we're not accessing the custom page through the navigation, we still need to add it to the app so it's accessible through the JavaScript. So the way that we do this is come into our model-driven app. So we're just going to go back. And then where it says new here, we're going to click onto this custom page, click on the contractor information hub in this case, and then unselect show in navigation because we don't want people to be seeing it in the navigation, and then select add. And then we'll see it pop up in the bottom here, and then we're just going to save and publish. Okay, once this is save and publish, we will select preview, and then we'll come into contracts. We'll open up a record, and then we're going to select contract information, and then you can see the custom page has opened up for us. Now you can see immediately we have another issue where you can't see the text because in the code, if you take a look here, we've defined a fixed width and a fixed height. Now the issue is this custom page does not align with those dimensions. Now if I open this, you can still see the name and the label and all of the information, but if I close this, you can see it doesn't fit into the section. So the way that we fix this, and I think the best way to do this, is if I come into the Contract Delivery Hub solution, come into my custom page, select the ellipsis and then select edit. I either align the code with the dimensions of the custom page or align the dimensions of the custom page with the code. Now the way that we could do this is come into settings, display. We're going to change the app layout from responsive to fixed. We're going to change the size to custom. And what we're going to do is change the size of this custom page to align with the code. So it's 450 width by 300 height. And then we're going to select close, and you can see that that's been added for us. And now we're just going to take this responsive layout, move it to the top, and just stretch it across like that. Now I'm going to save and publish, and then we're going to go back, leave. And now it does take a little bit of time for the changes to reflect in the app itself. But now you can see if I come into contract information, it aligns exactly the way that we'd like. And if we open this up, it has aligned responsively. So it's become a bit bigger. So if you made it this long, a huge thank you for staying to the end of the video. If you're looking for the snippet, it's going to be the first link in the description. You can put your email. I'll send you over a link to the success kit. And there's a folder called YouTube videos. And if you click on that and select the video that you just clicked on, the script will be in there. If you did find this video valuable, please leave a like. It does go a long way. And if you want to keep up for more Power Platform updates or tips and tricks, feel free to subscribe to the Powercademy channel. I made a note to myself to upload every week of 2026, so yeah, we've been maintaining that goal until now, so if I don't maintain that goal, then you can keep me accountable. Anyway, thank you so much for your time, and yeah, I'll catch you in the next one.